Welcome to this edition of Broome Up Front. I'm your host, David Yeftuk, and as always, we have a great show lineup for you today. In this show, we'll be talking about the Volunteer Fire Service, as the month of October is Fire Prevention Month. Our guest today is firefighter Brian Heller. Brian is a member of the Shenango Bridge Fire Company and medical team. As a member, he serves as a first responder to emergency events in the Shenango Bridge community and surrounding areas. Thanks for joining us today, Brian.
It's good to be here.
So Brian, what made you first interested in fire services?
Before I turned 18, I had a couple of friends who were already in the fire service, friend Cameron and friend Jesse. They were in different districts. So when I turned 18, I went down to the fire station and turned in my application. There was just a big calling of brotherhood and family outside of your own family, and just a lot of good skills to learn you can apply to your everyday life.
So we can see that was clear for you why you wanted to. Very noble purpose, I'd say. What would you recommend to other people who are interested in getting more involved with their local fire department?
I'd say your first step is just to go to your local fire station to figure out which district you're a part of. For me, I live kind of on the border of two different districts, so just go whatever one you think is right, and if you happen to be wrong, they'll tell you which one to go to. And that's the first step. The first step is actually going, so you got to go in the first place.
So basically, as long as you make that first step, even if you're wrong, they'll be able to point you the right direction. That's very good information to have. So I'd assume that there's a good amount of work to becoming a firefighter. Mm-hmm. Could you explain more as to what it actually takes to become a firefighter?
So in New York State, there's two different levels of firefighting. There's an exterior firefighter. They do stuff like run hand lines on the outside, put ladders up, direct traffic, stuff like that. That's 180 hours of training. To be an interior firefighter, which would be to go inside, perform rescue operations, fight fire from the inside out, is an additional 180 hours, so 360 hours total of training to do that. And on the medical side, there's three different levels of training. There's EMT Basic, Advanced EMT, and EMT Paramedic. For Basic, it's a semester-long class, 8 credits. For Advanced, you have to have the basic class and then an additional semester-long class of 8 credits. And for Paramedic, it's a 2-year degree on top of your basic.
Okay, so that's, no matter where you go in firefighting, that's a lot of training.
A lot of training, yep.
Yeah. How does your fire company, the Shenango Bridge Fire Company, get involved with the community that it protects?
We have a lot of things that we do throughout the year. We have 3 or 4 chicken barbecues, our ice cream social. We have 2 cider sales. We have one tomorrow, actually. And this past week, we were in the elementary schools, Shenango Forks, Shenango Bridge, doing fire prevention presentations to the kids so they know different aspects of fire prevention. Okay.
It's nice to see that you're giving back to the community, especially with the younger children who may not know as much as some older people. How many, on average, emergency does the Shenango Bridge Fire Company respond to annually?
Between 500 and 600.
Okay, so that's a good amount. So unfortunately, that is all the time we have for now. Thank you, Brian, for coming in and speaking to some of our questions. Be sure to stick around as Brian will be walking us through putting on a full set of turnout gear in a little bit.
October is National Fire Prevention Month. There are several fire departments in Broome County who are teaching seminars and giving instructions on how to prevent fires in homes and offices. According to FEMA, most Americans underestimate their risk of fire, and many either lack emergency response plans or fail to practice them with fire drills. We spoke with the former chief for the Shenango Bridge Fire Company, Jeff Neer, about the meaning behind fire prevention and how SUNY Broome students can prevent fires in their own homes.
And it's a time when we try to educate the public. We mainly focus on kids in school, but we try to educate the entire public on what they need to do in order to be safe in their lives as far as fire safety is concerned, be it in school, at home, on the job, out in the public, wherever they happen to be.
Smoking was the leading cause of death in a 15-year study of on-campus fire fatalities that ended in 2015. Unsurprisingly, cooking accidents account for a large part as well.
Set the microwave for 20 minutes instead of 2, and they'll go out in the hallway and talk with their friends, and before you know it, we've got a dorm room full of stinky popcorn smell.
FEMA says that 76% of fire deaths that happen on campus are alcohol-related, and that 94% of all fatal fire incidents involving students happen off campus.
Closing a bedroom door can save a life. So because of that, we want to put smoke detectors in our bedrooms instead of in the hallways. We've always told people put them in the hallway outside the bedrooms. Now it's put them in the bedrooms, link them together, close your door at night. Even the cheap hollow doors we put in houses these days can stop that fire for a good amount of time, 10, 15 minutes, enough time for the fire department to get there and get you out.
For Broome Up Front, Cole Harrington and Kaylee Yanusis reporting.
I'm late.
Welcome back to this edition of Broome Up Front. With us still is firefighter Brian Heller. As you can see, he's brought all of his gear with him today, and so he can show us how he puts it on. A crucial part of firefighting is to be able to make use of every second in an emergency, and firefighters need to be able to put on all their gear quickly and efficiently. Brian will be giving us a simple walkthrough of the several steps involved in putting on all of his bunker gear. Go ahead and take the stage, Brian.
All right, so as David said, every second counts. So the national standard is 2 minutes to put your gear on. At Shenango Bridge, we like to do it in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So when I first get to the station, the first step is to step into my boots. And my pants are already on top of my boots, so I just pull them up like that. Get them fastened, and my pants are all set. Next step is to put on my Nomax hood, which will eventually go around my mask to make sure that nothing can get in and protect my hair and skin. My next step is to turn on my air pack, which I'll be putting on in just a second here. Throw on my bunker jacket. My bunker jacket and pants have 3 layers that protect me from the heat and the flames inside the fire. So I have a zipper here and then Velcro that goes over the top. And my neck Velcros as well. Next step is to throw my pack on. And as you heard going off there a little bit, it's called a pass alarm. It goes off if a firefighter is motionless. Starts at 30 seconds. That way we know if we have to go in and rescue anyone inside. All right, my next step here is to throw my mask on. I wear my mask in any IDLH situation, which is immediate danger to life and health. I put that on, and I put my hand up to it to give myself a nice airtight seal. Make sure it sucks into my face. I pull my Nomax hood back up over, so that way nothing can get in around my mask. I have no exposed skin. My next step, helmet goes on, protects me from any falling debris inside. My gloves go on next. Hook into my regulator. Now I can breathe on the inside. As you can hear, my voice is kind of muffled, so when we go inside, we really have to yell. And this is what we look like. Our voices sound kind of scary, so you can't be afraid when we come in.
Okay, well, thank you a lot, Brian, for showing us and giving us this demonstration. Definitely puts in perspective what every firefighter has to go through every time they're going out to fight fires. Thank you very much for joining us on Broome Up Front with us today. We really appreciate your time and your service. If you're interested in supporting the Shenango Bridge Fire Company, they will be having their annual cider sale tomorrow, October 26th, in the morning at their station on Cantelville Road. As always, if you're interested at all in becoming a firefighter, please go to your local fire station and inquire. Thank you for joining us today, and be sure to check back in next Thursday for the next edition of Broome Up Front.